Hello friends, my name is Roy Shilo, the CEO and founder of Angelina. We wanted to introduce you to Angelina, which is essentially a platform for managing digital employees for enterprises. It actually started when we realized there was a very big problem, an enterprise problem with many agents coming and going, each having its own monitoring system and control system. Every organization or company is confident that they have agents who affect significant change. But in the end, when I am an enterprise and have an organization to manage, I want to manage it in the method I know, which is through employees. And essentially we established Angelina, which is a digital employee. She is an employee who lives within an environment. She lives within a team, knows her team members, and knows those who work with her. She is familiar with the clients, familiar with the organization, familiar with the department, and knows how to integrate into this environment. So Angelina is a digital employee which can serve in various roles such as a human resources manager, teaching assistant, or provide help with invoices or payments. She can assist with suppliers or with students. And as the Chief Technology Officer or CEO, I receive a platform that manages all these digital employees and all roles within the organization. What does this mean? It means that first and foremost, I have full control over the identity of Angelina. She is part of my Active Directory, part of my IDM, and I control the tokens and the quality of her responses through 4 monitoring systems that allow me to know exactly what she does, what she is allowed, and what she is not allowed to do. Our platform is installed within the client's organization. No information goes out. There are 7 layers of guardrails on all traffic to and from the LLM. Naturally, there is consideration for the protection of private information, PII, which we remove and then restore afterward. The most interesting and important aspect is that I am able to manage the LLM budget according to role. This means I can assign a role, allocate, for instance, stronger resources for a manager and lower resources for clients. I can take a specific task, allocate a larger budget for it, or let it, for instance, utilize a more powerful LLM engine, for example, for summarizing a PDF file. Or for specific types of conversations, I can assign a weaker engine. So essentially, control and oversight rest with the Information Systems Manager, and this is how we built Angelina. Now, I want to show you how we communicate with Angelina. What you are seeing now is how I talk with Angelina when I am instructing or lecturing at the university. As a facilitator, I speak with an agent called Dana, who speaks English or Polish, whichever I choose, and I start a conversation with her. Let's call this conversation health check, okay? Now, I ask her what I would ask if she were my real teaching assistant. How are my students? Hi. How are my students so far? Alright, so I asked her, hey, how are my students doing these days? And now she essentially checks the student status in the LMS. We operate through several learning management systems like Canvas LMS or Moodle. Angelina supports LTI. So I asked how my students are doing, and she categorizes them as red, yellow, or green. She tells me, for example, that Liam Parker has stopped submitting his assignments, which is concerning, and he is at risk because of his performance in the recent essay. In the last test on the 20th, she essentially informs me who are the weak students, who are the average, and who are the strong ones. She also provides me with some advice. Would you like me to draft an empathic outreach email to the red students to clarify their barriers? Before the email, I first want to ask, can you give me the full profile of Liam? Alright, let's get to know Liam a bit, because I'm not sure if I should approach him specifically, but it seems like something happened to him. Alright, let's see for a moment what my assistant Dana can find. She essentially connects to LMS now. The LMS retrieves the data and presents it to me. He achieved perfect scores in mapping. He received 0 on both the final paper and reflection. Would you like me to draft a return to track message for him? Okay, so I received both advice as well as some data analysis, which is very helpful. Naturally, if I had to do this through the LMS system by myself, it would have taken me a great deal of time. Yes, please. Let's start by sending an encouraging email For all the red students, send a personal email to each one of them. Now, Angelina, or Dana in this case, will send a private email to each individual. She will not send the email without the lecturer's approval. So now she will display the mail she composed for each of the students marked as read and will request my approval. After I read them, I will tell her to send them. She also asks if I want to have a one-on-one meeting with Shane. It's alright to schedule it because this is a simulation and the mailer is not really connected. Yes, you can send the emails. And for now, I don't want a meeting with Shane. Alright, so assuming she were connected to the email system, she would send them. I want to show you something else you can do with Angelina. This is personalized learning. Okay, so I can say to Angelina, hey, I want to. Hi, who are my green students? Who are the most successful among them? I want to see all the strong students and locate the strongest one. So let's take a moment to see who these students are because I essentially want to create personalized learning for each student. Okay, I see that Hillary Bennett is the strongest, but overall it seems that everyone is good. Great, can you create 5 questions for these advanced students? Make questions that will improve their creativity and deepen their knowledge in the course content. So I asked her to create 5 questions for the strongest students and send them by email. When they get the mail, these students can answer these questions in the LMS by conversation with Angelina. Excellent, so these are the questions based on the course content. In our case, the course title is Informal Learning Methods and how to construct lesson plans for informal learning. This pertains to Kohana's 7 layers model, and here she essentially asks about these 7 layers to enhance the study material for the strongest students. Once I send it, each student will receive the 5 questions by mail, will answer them, and Angelina will be able to analyze the responses and provide green, yellow, red feedback for this task. So the second thing I wanted to show here is that you can send questions to students through Angelina. The students receive the questions from Angelina and can respond to them, streamlining the process. Angelina acts as an intermediary between the lecturer and the student, which is her uniqueness because she knows the students in depth. She is familiar with the lecturers thoroughly. She adjusts her approach to the students according to the lecturer's wishes, and she knows how to receive instructions from the lecturer on how to approach the students. So we have observed 2 capabilities here. We have seen the health check that checks how the students are doing, and we saw that personalized learning can be implemented based on Angelina. Now I would like to show you another thing. Angelina can also summarize documents and receive scoring rubrics, and according to these rubrics, she can provide assessments of grades, as we can see here, essentially defining red, yellow, and green according to the criteria provided to her. So let's set a new conversation called scoreboard, and let's ask her. Hi, what is your scoreboard for the students, and how do you analyze their status? Green, yellow, and red. Alright, I want to show you here that you can also create a scoreboard for Angelina using a scoring rubric. We defined this rubric before to Angelina. We provided her with the scoring logic, the grading logic, and what is the basis for the grading scale. Okay, this is the rubric, as you can see. Okay, this is the standard for each of the metrics. Naturally, this rubric can be adjusted, and as a lecturer, I can alter the criteria for each student. The rubric can also be extracted from the learning management system like Canvas or Moodle. Now, I want to demonstrate another important feature, everything that Angelina does, including sending emails and analyzing data. Everything is documented in a very organized logging system. All her tasks are listed here. You can also ask Angelina which tasks were difficult and which were easy. Now for the last thing that I wanted to show you. This is Angelina's administration system, where we can view all the Angelinas that are active for all the departments in the organization and for all clients. This system also manages the budget we mentioned before, for each of the Angelinas, for each of the employees, and for each of the accounts. Of course, this is only demo data, and I can, for example, see that Seattle Pizza or Department X has 2 employees, which I created myself. I can independently create a digital employee, meaning the CEO or CTO essentially define the employees by themselves. Let's name this new employee Dana. Then I can set a duty for her, like customer support, operations, learning, etc. Each organization has their own list of duties, and each duty is built around specific tools and specific skills, which can be either selected or added. You can, of course, add more tools, for example, mailer tool, which you then define, or Office 365 connector, or you can add conversation logs. There are many more tools, over 25 tools that are available by default. Now, these are the roles that are available in the role marketplace. More roles can be added, utilized, created, or imported. These are all the available tools. More can be added for the various types. And the most interesting part is that for the finance operations FinOps, we can see how much each employee costs us in general, whether we reach the cap or not, how much money, how many tokens, and which budget we allocate for each employee. We can analyze the costs for each employee separately. We can define very specific policies. What should be done if we reach max tokens, or in case someone attempts to access a specific model. This can apply to all virtual employees or for a specific model. So to summarize, what we have seen here is a comprehensive overview of the digital employee management world. First, we heard about the platform and its capabilities. We observed how we communicate with Angelina, both as a lecturer and as a student, while reviewing the integration with the local learning management systems, and we observed the control and monitoring system for the management level. So thank you very much, and I hope you've enjoyed this presentation.